Today, Precarious plays
Zone of the Enders, the second runner. I want to begin by pointing out we're playing the PS2 version now. Like I said, a couple things to point out. Look at that very square map.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. It's so weird that that got distorted.
Yeah.
In the, what I guess is now the final version of the 360 edition of the game. I did a little bit more research, and I think that's enough of a distinguishing element for me.
Mm-hmm.
The super duper patched PS3 version of the game has the proper square map.
Mm-hmm.
And other things as well, I assume. Like that would be a weird thing to omit specifically from the 360 patch, which I guess never happened. Just want to point out, I died twice getting to the same point. It was to the spider raptor group right at like the start of like the previous stage.
Yeah.
So many fewer deaths, just like I thought. I checked to make sure that it was on the same difficulty level, and 31 minutes. Didn't take very long at all. Just.
Oh my, that's a quarter of the time we took.
Yeah, although I was skipping the cutscenes, which is a big part of it.
Okay, well, we'll say it was half the time, and that's still incredibly impressive.
So it is now Zone of the Enders 2 on the PlayStation 2.
Mm-hmm.
I should mention that of all the controllers I've used in my life, the DualShock 2 has been in the top 3 since childhood and is still there today. I love the DualShock 2.
It just fits your hand well, or?
I mean, it's just... It's very functional. It's a highly functional piece of equipment.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a nice weight to it. It has exactly like the kinds of features that I care about.
Mm-hmm.
So like the pressure sensitivity thing that, like, admittedly, while it's underused in a lot of games, I still appreciate it.
Yeah.
The sticks feel really good. Like they're just like the right height, and they have like this sort of natural like tackiness to the top of them.
They have like grip.
Yeah.
They have a texture on top of the stick.
Yeah, that always just seems to work well for me. Also, I like it because, like, the 360 controller, the Xbox 360 controller, I should say, it's not bad. Oops. It's not bad, but it doesn't have, like, the same sort of, like, clackiness.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like a lot of my mechanical input devices to be sort of ta-dunk, 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 clacky.
The gameplay, how has it been differing getting to this point and so on? Is it just easier? Is the timing better? What we were talking about, how you felt like the whole rhythm of the game was somewhat off in the other one.
Right, and here it's restored. It feels fine. I think it is most noticeable on the bosses.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I am satisfied myself. Like I have comforted myself playing this game again so quickly after playing it on the 360. Playing it on the PS2, I don't feel like, I don't feel like how to phrase it. I kicked the shit out of the bosses. Right?
Yeah.
And it just felt faster and more responsive, and I think that it was because of that extra fluidity. I think that's how I did it. It was just like whenever I was testing on the PS2 version. Big Viper, first try. R-Jet was...
Raptor destroyed.
it was easier to stay close to Ardjet, and the game didn't have this annoying slowdown whenever she started using her, like, Cape Swarm function.
Yeah. You said you did a little bit more research. Do you know why the game feels so slow on the Xbox 360 version?
It's inefficiencies with code. I don't know enough about programming to be any more specific than that. I just know that, like, the most I can do is repeat what I read online, which is the phrase poorly optimized and then shrug.
Okay.
I don't know if it's because, I mean, professionally I'm a graphic designer, so I know about raster and vector. I know all about images and mega blops.
The megabips.
The mega boop blops.
And the gigablings.
So I can say, like, okay, this right here, let me show you. I'm going to, no, not a burst attack, I'm gonna use a dash attack. So using the homing lasers, right? You have Jehudi as a model on the screen, and Jehudi has a lot of emissives, right?
Yeah.
So all of the little lights, and it's not even the same light. I don't know how much that matters. But you see, like, it's not the same quality, it's not the same texture for, like, the shoulder-mounted, like, guiding lights, like the green ones, and then, like, the blue thrust, right? And then immediately, once you start boosting, then you have another effect. You've got this aura. And I don't think it's as simple as it might appear, because, like, it always wraps around you in a way that's appropriate for like, your velocity. It changes with your velocity. And then as soon as you fire the homing lasers, suddenly it's, what is that, 12? 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 on a side. 16, I guess. It looks like about 16. Suddenly you've got 16 laser trails, and then whenever they hit something, this happens, right? All of those additional little, probably just PNGs or whatever they are, like whatever file type it would use. And that becomes, here, I need to find an enemy.
Yeah.
Because one thing that I don't know if I've really taken enough time to appreciate, so watch what happens here. See how whenever, hold on, these explode, I think, if you get too close. And I don't want to get blown up, but I do want to demonstrate. That's fine, and there's Metatron at the end of this.
Okay.
Oh, no, there it was. So whenever you move through an explosive cloud, the smoke clings to Jehudi.
Yeah.
It was pretty subtle there. It's easy. It's really easy to tell with the mosquitoes at the start of the game. Especially if you get in close and use the sword. That is a lot to ask for a system, any system, to do at once. And if you, I don't know, like, I could imagine it just being a case of asking a computer to do it in an order that is inefficient.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe the way that it would work best is if you ask it to perform each function, like, by task, and maybe somebody fucked up and had it perform the task, like, sequentially for each enemy right at the start. So it, like, generates a beam, and then on impact it, what, like, it generates, like, the particles and then the smoke and then smoke trails. I don't know. Well, it seems like the kind of thing where there's so many different moving parts, it could be quite a lot.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot to go wrong.
Yeah. So I guess it's for sure not a deliberate and bad design decision. It was just something that happened that didn't get fixed.
I mean, even in this game, there are definite slowdowns, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever things get, let's say, excessive.
Yeah.
Whenever things get a little too, whenever they're too numerous,
Yeah.
right? Whenever there are too many things on screen going on at once.
Yeah. I've always, this is the best. The best thing is taking your enemies and throwing them at enemies. And then throwing them on the ground. So fun.
Whoop, 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 whoop. No. Okay, alright, okay.
Gotta throw them on the ground. Or cut them into pieces and then throw them on the ground.
How close are we to the end of this wing? We'll do it tomorrow. Yeah.
I'm glad that this one isn't causing as much frustration.
I mean, it's really subtle, but the game moves fast.